Hola, this is Dee from Spanish in Atlanta. This is a test. Hopefully, none of you have seen my other tests. This is very new to us here using this wonderful feature of live streaming. So, this is a mini lesson, a demo test. We're going to talk about Spanish pronouns, why they're so important, and also verbs, and how those two words connect with each other. And that's how you get a sentence. Honestly, a sentence is just a container. For example, this is a sentence. And in order to get a sentence, you need to put words in it. You can keep sentences really small or you can make really big sentences. But ultimately, think of a sentence as just a container. And what does a sentence have? Just multiple words in it that conveys a message. So today we're going to work on how that works with pronouns and Spanish verbs. Bueno, listo. Keep in mind this is a test and I don't have an assistant, so it's not going to be a smooth and elegant video, but you know what? I think the content's going to be great. I think I'm confident I'm going to be able to help a lot of you out there that might be confused about how verbs are, what conjugations means, etc. This is a short clip. So Spanish pronouns, they are just words. Spanish pronouns point to people. That's what they are. So there's a word for this. We have a word for this. We have a word for this. We have a word for all people. Pronouns are pure words that only tell us two pieces of information. They tell us the gender, is it masculino or is it femenina? And we also get to know how many. So depending on those two answers, you're going to get a different word each time. So if you like math, you're going to appreciate Spanish pronouns because if you add or subtract, then you get a new word. Bueno, listo. So let's learn a few pronouns. There are about 9 Spanish pronouns to memorize. Today, we're just going to work on 4 of them, okay? Ella, ella. Él, él. Ella, ella. Él, él. I'm just finding my other. Okay, here we go. Ellas, ellas. Ellos, ellos. I'm going to do this for at least another minute, okay? Just listen and watch. That's it. Do not translate these words. What you're looking at here is the word you're hearing. One more time. Ellos, ellos. Ella, ella. Él, él. Él, él. Ellas, ellas. Ella, ella. What's this one? Ella, 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 ella. You see that it doesn't matter what these people look like? This ella is the same thing as this ella. So you just have to memorize what the word really means. Let's try a few more, okay? I'm gonna do this faster. Ellos, ella, él, ella, 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 él, él, él. ella, ellos, ellas. El, two L's equal an ellos, okay? So we have el here, el, together, ellos, ellos. Here we have an ella, and here we have another ella. But when you put together, you get ellas, ella, ellas, ella, etc., etc. I think you get the picture. So these are Spanish pronouns. When you create a sentence, you must start your sentence with a pronoun. So with one of these words. Or a noun. Nouns we'll talk about later. Nouns are the same thing as a pronoun, except that pronouns give very minimal information. Nouns give a lot more information about your ella. And sometimes you need this in a conversation. You need to give more information about your ella or your el. Bueno, listo. So now let's take a look at some verbs. The verbs you're going to look at are a mixture of AR, ER, and IRs. Spanish verbs are just words, just like these images are just words. See? We have el, we have ella, but verbs point to action. So verbs are words of action. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. So for example, this is action. You can see me do it. That's comer. And we have many other verbs like this. But there are some times that you're gonna see something, you're gonna have someone say, hey, that's a verb. And you're gonna think, no, that's not a verb. I can't see it. I don't see the action. It's not always literal. You're not gonna always literally see the action, but sometimes words are going to be verbs. So you just have to memorize those or use common sense. Trust me, you'll know what I mean when you reach that point. Spanish verbs come in three major flavors. You have a chocolate, vainilla, and a fresa, no? So here you have AR verbs, ER, and IR. How do you know that this over here is a verb? And how do you know what it is? Just look at it. First of all, someone has to introduce you to this and be like, hey, guess what? This is a verb. It's a cool verb, and I think you'll like it. So how do you know if it's an AR? Just look at it. Right over here, it tells you. So just look and you'll see. What does this verb mean? Not today. We're just going to learn how to conjugate, how to create a simple sentence, how to use pronouns, all that good stuff in this little mini session. Bueno, listo, brother. All right, so here we have verbs now. I'm going to introduce you to verbs. This is trabajar. Trabajar. Escuchar. Escuchar. Estudiar. Estudiar. Bailar. Bailar. And my all-time favorite, hablar. Hablar. So these are all verbs. When you put a verb together with a pronoun, you get a simple sentence. And what you also get is to conjugate a verb. So conjugating a verb means that you put the action together with the person doing it. And when you put this together, you get a sentence and you have to conjugate the verb. I'm going to show you what that means. Don't worry, conjugating a verb, conjugation sounds so intimidating. Sounds like a very high-tech type of word. But it's actually very simple. I'm going to show you how to do this. For this section, I'm just going to move this laptop so that you can get a better view. So you're going to see me moving around things. Just bear with me, you're going to see it. Okay? Let me try to show you up here. I only have two hands for Pete's sake, so I'm trying to do it all here. All right, listo. So here we have, what's the word for this? El. And then we have hablar, right? So when you put these two together, look what happens. You get él habla español. See what I did? Just one little thing, that's all I did. All right, hold on for 20 seconds or 30. I'm gonna show you how to conjugate the verbs. But I need to show you over here. This is life, people, real life. No fancy editing, just a little bit of, okay, here we go. Bravo, listo, bien, bien. All right, let me see. Bueno, I think this will work. Again, bear with me. Let's see. All right, so here you see, I'm just gonna wait for the image. Let's see, where are you? Okay. Hars over here. Be patient. Remember, this is new for me. All right, I'm just gonna move this down so you can see them all. Okay, so what you're looking at now, these are verbs, okay? Just watch. Don't translate. Don't worry about what this means yet. You're gonna learn what that means, but it's important to first know how to conjugate it, okay? That's what we're doing right over here. So I'm gonna move this down just a little bit more. Give me another 10 seconds. I'm looking for my little, let's see. I just had it here and now it's gone. I will find it. Believe me, trust me. Or I'll just create a new one. Not a big deal. Everything's good. Everything's always gonna work out. Okay. So. All right. Very good. Okay. So here we have trabajar, estudiar, bailar, hablar, escuchar, and beber. I think you can barely see it. Let me just move that a little bit. All right, so now look what's going to happen. I'm going to put the person that's doing all these things. Look what happens. So we have él trabaja. You do not say trabajar. You see what I did? I just did this. And by doing that, I just conjugated the verb. When you conjugate a verb, what you're doing is you're letting people know who's doing the verb, when are they doing it, and what are they doing. That's what it means to conjugate a verb. So when you conjugate a verb, you have to modify it just a little bit so that people know that this is being done. Él trabaja, él estudia, él baila. You always have to tell people who's doing it. So that's why I'm doing él again. Él habla español, él escucha, él bebe. See what I did? Now we have ella. 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 Ella trabaja, ella estudia, ella baila, ella habla. Ella escucha, ella bebe. What did I do? Same thing, right? I just covered the R. That's all you're doing. You just have to cover the R. So look again. Él trabaja, ella trabaja. What did I do different? Same thing, right? Verbs don't care if you're a guy or a girl. What verbs care about is if you're number one, number two, or number three. So that's why when you conjugate a verb, it doesn't change for the L and the A. It's the same thing. Look what happens when you have now you have ellas. Let's see if I can take this out. Not really, but I made it happen. You have ellas. Ellas. Ellas trabajan. Ellas estudian. Ellas hablan. You see what I did? Ellas, of course you did, right? I mean, you'd have to. Ellas hablan español. Ellas escuchan música clásica. You cannot say ellas escuchar música clásica because that would mean that you didn't conjugate the verb. Conjugating the verb means that you just change one little thing. That's it. Ellas escuchan. Ellas beben. Let's try this. Just watch. Ella trabaja. Ella estudia. Ella baila. Ella habla. Ella escucha. Ella bebe. Él trabaja. Él estudia. Él baila hip hop. Él habla español. Él escucha. Él bebe. Ellas trabajan. Ellas estudian. Ellas bailan. Ellas hablan. Ellas escuchan. Ellas beben. Last one. Ellos. Now we have ellos. These are the people doing this, okay? So, ellos trabajan. You see how that doesn't change? Ellos trabajan. Ellas trabajan. This is the same thing. Ellos estudian. The R turns into an N. Ellos estudian. Ellos bailan. Ellos hablan. Yeah. Ellos hablan. Ellos hablan. Not hablan. Don't give me hablan. Clase. H is always silent. We have an H sound, but it's not in the form of the letter H. Ellos escuchan. Escuchan. Ellos escuchan. And lastly, ellos beben. Ellos beben. Bien? So that's it. I just showed you how to conjugate AR-ER verbs using ellos, ellas, ella, and el. Very simple. This is not a full lesson. This is just to give you an idea that that conjugations of verbs are not hard, and it helps to have physical aids that you can touch and move around. It's very helpful for everyone, especially visual learners. If you can see the stuff that you're learning, it makes it a lot easier for your brain to remember. I will have a full video later on how you can conjugate these verbs back to back, and also exercises on remembering your pronouns and all of that. I'm a small language studio, and as you can see, I'm by myself here. So that's what happens. I need help, I need people, I need funds, I need investors, I need at least, and sometimes I do have really cool people that want to help, but I don't always have someone. So that's why I'm not able to make more videos. But if this life thing helps or works, which I know it will, I'll be able to reach a lot of you on a weekly basis, do little mini lessons, things like that. Bueno, listo. I will see you next time. Hopefully with not hopefully, you'll see me. I'll be able to do a few more videos. And again, this is just a test to see if this whole live stream thing worked. And I think it did. It didn't get stuck. Unfortunately, when I tried this at home, I guess my internet is not muy bueno. All right, my dears, bravo. Don't worry, you have to do things in order. Don't try to learn everything at the same time. First, you have to learn what your Spanish pronouns are, then your verbs, then the pronunciation, then the memorization of the action. I have another video here on the Spanish in Atlanta YouTube channel that gives you verbs, but how to conjugate them is the next step. Because as you learned today, you can't just put a person with the verb and then just read it. You can't say ella hablar español, right? You have to conjugate it. So that's coming up very soon. All right, clase, disfruten, practiquen, enjoy your español. See you next time. Ciao, ciao. Yeah. Okay, here's the stop button. Ciao.